Hello and welcome to all of you on the third day of TestMu 2023. I'm Sumesh and I'll be your host today. And let's welcome our next speaker, Dmytro Lukianchuk, who holds 13 years of experience as a quality assurance specialist. He's passionate about helping people grow, not only in terms of being professional, but overall. Played a crucial role in assembling and leading a highly talented team that was instrumental in creating exceptional products. Currently, he is responsible for managing 10 skill team QAs at Wix.com, working with Wix since 2012, and grew from being a manual QA to management position. I think it's a lot of learning from you, Dmytro, today. If you are a manager, a leader, aspiring to be one, or simply someone who loves learning from others' experience, this session is just for you. Dmytro is going to share his top 10 personal and professional failures as a young QA team lead. These are the failures that change the way he works and thinks today. And guess what? It's not just about the mistakes. It's about how to transform them into lessons. But before we begin, let's quickly take care of a few housekeeping items. This session is being recorded. So in case you need to drop off, somewhere you got disconnected, you'll be able to come back and rewatch the entire session from TestMu by going to the schedule. We will be having a dedicated Q&A round towards the end. So feel free to address any questions during the session in a Q&A window on the right side of the screen, right? And so let's welcome Dmytro Lukianchuk and hear from him. Dmytro, over to you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Samesh. Do you hear me and see me well? So I can start, right? If not,
I can hear
please,
you, yes.
you can hear me. Okay, so let me share my screen and without further ado, let's get started. So
Awesome.
You see my screen, right?
I can see. I'll be off stage. Okay. You can get started, right?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Gotcha. Okay. Thank you once again for introduction. It was kinda honored for me to be here. So hello everyone once again. My name is Dmytro Lukianchuk, and first and foremost, welcome to the TestMu QA conference. This amazing platform to share the knowledge around QA and as well as meet the speakers. So I'm honored to be a speaker today. The name of my session is how to get away with QA managers' failures, and try to guess who is the manager in the role of manager today. Yeah, it's me. So I want to start from my biggest mistake. All right. My biggest mistake was the fear of failures. And because of that fear, I didn't develop for some time. I grew up and found an interesting method that helped me back then. It actually helps today. Let me share the formula with you. It's really simple. Probably some of you already know this formula. Here it is. First step, try. And this is the most important one, okay? If you know what you want, what you aspire to, try. Start. Don't wait. Just try. Give it a try. And don't wait for some sign from the sky or a time when you already baked for something. Just give it a try. Do it. Second one, don't be afraid of failures. The sooner you fail, the faster you learn. All right. Then third step is analyzing, adjusting. Analyze the fail and adjust the approach. And the last one, try to guess. Yeah, do it again, but in a new way. It is that simple, but yet powerful in my life. And maybe I will inspire some of you. I am using this exactly formula right now. This is my first speech at the international conference, and I am a bit nervous, so sorry about that. And I am on the first stage. I am trying, and I'm ready to learn, or even fail. And I hope it's not happening today, but I'm ready for that as well. So today I'm sharing with you my professional and personal failures in the field of QA management and leadership. And it actually doesn't matter if you're already a leader or a manager or just want to become one. Even a QA in my speech is a parameter. So I am not closing only to QA, but I am sharing a bit more context and a bit more more domains about the leadership and management in general. So, who am I? Who is Dmytro Lukianchuk? Again, my name is Dmytro Lukianchuk, and I am 33 years old. And first and foremost, I am Ukrainian and proud of it. You can see on the background, this is the flag of the colors of Ukraine, blue and yellow. And I spent most of my life in Dnipro city. It's a central part of Ukraine, but temporarily I live in Poland now because of, probably you know, because of full-scale war with Russia these days. So I'm married to an angel. You can see it in the picture. And I have 3 adorable children. 2 of them are twins boys. And let me tell you something. Managing 3 kiddos is a much more challenging task than managing a team of even 10 QAs. But it's much more fun as well. So here is a random life hack from my day-to-day life, or maybe work life. How to get away, how to get rid of back pain caused by enormous time we spend sitting next to computers every working day, at least 8 hours, right? So the life hack is easy. Start walking for the whole working day. During the COVID time and working from home experience, I was able to establish a dream working place with treadmill. This picture is from my home, okay, my office, kinda office. So yeah, I used to walk while working, and goodbye back pain. Okay, amazing experience, and you can ask me questions later on about pros and cons of this approach, but I really miss it right now. Back to my career. So I started my journey in a QA back in 2010 as a manual QA. I joined Wix.com company in 2012 and stuck around because, well, the company is amazing and it gave me chances to grow and opportunities to grow. I gained experience in manual QA and automation QA as well as leadership. And now I manage a team of 10 QAs. And the product I'm currently working on, it calls Payments by Wix, is the most fascinating project I've ever been part of on my career, during my career. We are creating a super cool and one of a kind payments platform for our Wix users. And let me tell you, my team, you also can see them on the pictures, not all of them, is absolutely fantastic. It's pure love. Here on this picture, you can see that was a party. We were celebrating first $1 billion processed by Wix payments by our system. Oh, what a nice party it was. Now you learned a lot about me. Yeah, and probably some of you think I'm cool. Wait, just wait for my hiccups along the way and you can form your conclusions later. So let's dive right in. By the way, once again, I repeat, if you have any questions during my presentations, feel free to write them in the chat. There will be a dedicated Q&A session at the end, and I'll try my best to answer everything. And please also use, I saw some of you use the emoji reactions during my speech. This is incredible tool because online is kind of difficult to see the auditory, to feel the auditory. So it's the way to hear your immediate feedback to me. So feel free to use it, whether it's good or bad. Oh, thank you very much. Such a nice, thank you. Okay, such a nice audience. So without further ado, let's dig to the interesting part, I hope. So my first failure, my top 10 failures. First failure, don't trust your team or team members. If you ask people around me, people I work with or a friend with, except of my wife, don't say it to her, whether I'm a conflict person or not, they probably answer no. But let me share with you my first conflict experience as a young QA team lead, right? a bit of the context. There are 5 QAs in my team, and we are still growing. I was offered to become a team lead for this team, and I agreed. So the next day, I headed to work with my new role as a team leader, but I wasn't quite sure about the tasks that team leader should handle. It was a bit of challenge for me to understand it. And instead of putting my full of my energy on leadership tasks, something new and challenging, I was focused on something I knew how to do, and tried to guess what QA can do. Right, testing products. I knew how to do it. That's why they chose me to be a lead. So I started to check every QA in my team, even though they all were senior levels. There was even no middle in my team, asking kind of dummy questions like why you test like that and not like that, as I used to do it. Okay, have you checked this and that? And why did I make that choice? Well, I had concerns that their work might not meet my standards as well as company standards of the quality of the product compared to how I used to do it. All right, and this made me hesitant and led to the lack of trust inside my team, to my team members. And there wasn't enough time to check everyone's work, of course, because I have 5 and more, right? So I chose one QA kind of victim. So I literally controlled his every step, and it drove him crazy. It is a conflict, all right? So we had a serious talk like grown ups, because micromanagement is a trap, and this is a hole for me. Okay, so what did I learn from this failure? That trust is the foundation for everything. Without trust in your team, you can rarely build something long term and cool, especially if you work with people on a leadership position. If something is wrong, be a man, go and talk it out loudly immediately before a conflict arises. So build this trust from the beginning. And also, as a side effect, there are many right ways to solve one particular task or issue or problem, not just the ones I used. Okay. Before we move on to the next fail, let's get to know each other a bit. I've told you kind of a lot about myself, right? So I would really interested to see who actually came here to listen to my talk. We have a poll here. Let me share it. So what's your occupation? Use your computers, your mouse, your keyboards, I don't know. Yeah. And let's answer the question, what's your occupation? Whether you are manual QA, your automation QA, your general QA, it means manual and automation. By the way, I used to be general QA or product QA. Whether you're SDET, software development engineering test, like Google has, QA team lead or manager, or maybe you're not a QA. Oh, we have not a QA, like 10% already? It's interesting. What are you doing here? I'm just kidding. We welcome everyone. I hope you will find also something interesting for you here from my talk, because I'm not talking about QA as I shared, right? Specifically about QA and only about QA, more about leadership. I see. So different auditory. Great. Who won? Okay, general QA won, I guess. No, sorry. QA team lead and manager, 28%. Wow. Wow, and still voting. 28% of managers and leads. Okay, Dima, please don't talk a lot, because we have more managers on the call. All right, managers and QA leads are on the first place. Then we have general QA, which is great, actually, manual and automation. Then manual and automation QA, cool, different auditory. Thank you very much for sharing. your information. Now I know who I talk to, actually. What is the crowd there? Cool. I'm closing the poll. Thank you very much. So let's move on, right, to the next fail. I call it radical methods are always accepted. Perhaps some of you is familiar with the internal struggle between business and engineering, where business or products are pursued for speed, to receive faster feedback, to release faster, and to receive faster feedback from first users, to get faster ROI. And engineers, especially QAs, we are, right, are pursuing the quality. So so we don't release the shitty product. So we don't want to have incidents. We want sleep at nights, right? We don't want to wake up and fix those incidents on to check. So we want to have a stable product, responsive product, and happy users. So we have such a dilemma here in my team, in my company. And as a QA lead, I felt frustrated with the lack of time allocated for automation tasks, because you know what they say? There is no time for automation. Let's release. Let's do automation later on. Okay? Is it familiar with you? No? Let's do later on. Okay? So as a young lead, I decided to take a radical approach and made a presentation to highlight the importance of automation and its impact on a product quality. So I chose recently released new product that definitely wasn't covered by auto test, because try to guess, there was no time for that, or allocated time for that officially. So I gathered stakeholders of this feature, developers and PM, everyone but QA. So QA was not part of this meeting. And I asked this crowd the simple question: are you aware of the quality of the product? What's up with automation? And I know that automation coverage is not the only indicator of quality. Of course, there are many. But I simplified this example intentionally. So the answer, they were silent. They didn't respond. So I respond myself, showing them this slide. Sorry about that. Oh, it's radical and a bit disgusting, no? But I intentionally wanted to appeal to their emotions so that it would be remembered. Overall, it worked well, and I was able to express the problem, and the R&D leadership forum understood the issue and agreed to change the approach and actually the mindset towards automation. So where did I fail? This is a successful story, no? Wait for it. So I come to my QA team now with the good news, celebrating that from now on there will be time allocated for automation, and attention will be paid to them. I show them the same presentation as I showed to that crowd before, but when I got to this shitty slide, I messed up. Why? I didn't take into account that this project has been tested by the new QA from my team. Okay, so he was still fresh, you know, and learning. He's been for us with months only, so it's quite new. He didn't understand the vibes. So of course he took it all personally, because QA is responsible for the quality after all. And this is my fail as a manager, as a lead. Realizing my error, I apologized to him and the whole team, giving them like a more context of what I was trying to achieve. So what did I learn here? Radicalism is not always good, really. This action could have actually cost me my new team member. He might have said, "You are so rude. and not friendly, bye-bye, I'm leaving. It also had a negative impact on the whole team as an example of my leadership. So from this experience, I learned the value of empathy and considering how my actions might affect others before making any drastic moves in the future. So let's proceed. Next one, ignore your gut feelings. Hiring and firing or letting people go, those are two very challenging tasks for a manager. Have you dealt with them before? So we are in a rush time to close a new and hot senior QA position for my team. One candidate went through all the interview stages, and we have quite a lot, like 5 or 6, depends. And seems like everyone likes him except of me. But for some reason, I do not raise the concern because we are in a rush time, even though it was strong gut feeling. So he starts working. We hired him. He starts working, and I look at his actual result of his work, and I say to myself, he won't be with us for long. He simply isn't suitable for this position as a senior QA. And this again was my gut feelings. And what do I do? What do I do with these gut feelings? I say to myself, Dima, give him time. He'll show himself. Dima, he passes all the interview stages and was liked by many. Okay, and maybe it's not professional to think like that, or we will make a professional out of him because you have a team of professional engineers. Or at weeks during the probationary period, you cannot fire him, and a lot of many other blah 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 blah, which actually killed my gut feeling. Okay. After a while, I start receiving negative feedback about his work from development, from product managers. And I return to my initial emotions. I hate this phrase, but I told you so, right? My gut feelings told me so. So honestly, I tried to help him, but he didn't pay much attention to my feedbacks. He's been with us for some time, but after he left, it was a release for everyone. So what's useful here in this failure? My intuition is my friend, is not my enemy. I learning to trust it because very often my gut feelings is an indicator of what I really think. Okay, the same intuition currently helps me to deal with hiring, promotions, and letting people go. And at the end of the day, it's expected from me to get the right people on board. Next failure, You Are Almighty. I hope you've seen this amazing old movie, Bruce Almighty. I like it. So, another question for you, rhetorical, without pause. Have you ever performed multiple roles simultaneously at your work? Like, for instance, were you a manual QA and automation QA? Or maybe you are like a QA and a Scrum Master, right? Or any other roles. So if so, did it work out well? And another question, how many roles can be combined effectively at once? 2, 3, 4, 5, 10? So I've been working as a team lead and on a parallel full-fledged QA for some time now. And things seem to be going well. And we are still growing, and more team members join my team under my umbrella, my management. All of a sudden, now I'm working overtime because I need to prepare well for both one-on-one meeting with as a team lead for all the team members, right? And to ensure that the release does not fail as a full-fledged QA. Which task is more important, by the way? I'm getting frustrated, and my self-esteem is really dropping. Should I go to my lead and tell him that I'm struggling? No way. That's not me. It's better to work overtime. I'm a team lead. I must handle it all. Thank God, I had a great manager back then. He noticed that I was struggling, and he says to me, it's time for you to choose your growth path, Dima. whether you want to be in management or in engineering. I had a, I had a couple of sleepless nights back then trying to make the right decision, but it's totally like different story. Not for now. I chose people and management. So what's useful here for me? I almost burned out. If not my manager, I wouldn't have made it. Instead, I realized that I'm just a human and not almighty. It's much better for me, in my case, to choose one thing, one role, and do it perfectly instead of several roles at average level and being about to burn out. Next failure, you know what to do. I am a team lead. Finally, a new cool title, a new achievement. All right. I'm going to update every social media, every social network. Yeah, LinkedIn, Facebook, even Slack. This is the achievement. Finally, I can set my own tasks. Finally, I can focus on something I like and I think important to me and to the company. This is kind of freedom, right? And then my boss, my manager, comes to me and asks, Dima, um, what the strategic plan for your team and QA in general for the next year? And then HR comes to me and asks, Dima, how are your team members doing? Any growth, any issues? And I was like, wow, what kind of questions are these? I am a team lead, and I know what I need to focus on. Well, not really. I love this explanation of who the good manager is. Okay, bear with me. A skilled manager effectively navigates the expectations set by their expectation is the main word here. Okay, expectations set by their team members. Yeah, you have a team members and they expected something from you if you are a leader, if you didn't know that. From the company, from the boss, your direct supervisor, while defining and pursuing their personal growth trajectory. You see the picture of really good manager? It's not that easy, right? So how to successfully meet all of those expectations and thus become a good manager? I'm glad you asked. Here is the answer for you. It's easy. Ask for expectations and feedback from every stakeholder you work with, from team member, from company, and from your boss. Just ask. Let me show you on my actually real example, okay? This is a real data from my real feedbacks and from my growth trajectory. So I've created a simple Google Doc where I combined feedbacks and expectations from me, from my work, from all the parties, team members, company, and my boss. And each section, as you can see here, it consists of 3 simple blocks: keep doing, right? Start doing, and stop doing. Feel free to read it. So this exercise helps me to evaluate my skills and evaluate my skills now and build the backlog of most important strategic, I would call them, tasks for the future according to expectations. Okay, and that's how I really know what to do, because I know what's expected from me. Next one, feedback is not that important, I call it. Let me ask you another delicate question. All right, I know there are cultural differences and company differences, but still, how to ask for salary increase or salary raises, if you do at all? I had a one-on-one meeting with my subordinate Igor, and he said, I want a salary review because I've been working for this company for a year right now. And I was like, I guess it is possible. Let me try. Okay, yeah, a year is a long time. So I went to my manager, who is in charge of the company budgets, and I said, let's give Igor a raise because a year has passed since he is with us, right? And And my lead replied, so what if a year has passed? What are the results of his work? Has he grown up, learned something new? What contribution did he make to the project or product or team or a company? So he asked me to write a justification email for the salary review explaining why I think it's necessary at the moment. But my issue was that I didn't know what to write in this email because I hadn't talked about it with Igor. He's been just doing his work, you know. So what the problem here, and what does it have to do to deal with the feedback at all? So I realized that evaluating the team members' work is not an easy task, and very often I just ignored or postponed this task because I didn't know how to do it effectively. So I just relied on, let's try to guess, I relied on time, even though it's far from the main indicator of performance, of people performance. So what helped me here and what I use now? With Igor and actually with all the other team members from my team, we built a personal development plan. And now it's much easier for us and for myself either to see the progress, okay? And also I attended several meaningful feedbacks trainings to learn how to speak, how to listen. I realized that this is the foundation for growth, not only in case of salary topics. Proper and timely feedbacks help a person grow and reach the goal. Lesson number 7 or fail number 7, don't show your cards. I call it that way. So I'm a team leader now. I'm invited to all important meetings, even with high management. I know insider information about the company that my team doesn't know. Okay, what should I do with it, with this information? Keep it for yourself. This is the privilege of being a leader, isn't it? Ever heard about seagull management? One way of explaining it, it's when a manager brings in a half-baked idea, demands immediate actions from the team, then disappears, leaving the team to deal with a mess or with a shit story. Honestly, sometimes I feel like this seagull. So how do I kill it? Start with Why by Simon Sinek. I think that a lot of you know this book. This cool book helped me out then. Before doing any task, we answer the question why as a team, or even before that, I answer this question myself. Why should I do it? Why should my team do it? So and if it's clear, only then we go to how and what. For instance, why adding API level automation tests if we have UI ones? Or why are we implementing Apple Pay and not a Google Pay? Or why do we need a postmortem after each incident, etc., etc. Only if there is a clear answer to why and everyone understands it, we switch to how and what, because how and what it's much easier. So starting with why, I encourage people to be a part of something bigger than just do this, do that. You know, I give everyone the opportunity to influence decisions, and that's the path how I see it to growth and leadership for my team members. And one last and important thing: be honest and open to your team members, to your team. Don't be afraid to share information with the team, even if it's still raw. And I'm not talking about the confidential things. I hope you understand. When you are honest with people, when you don't pretend to be some kind of mega manager, you speak on equals, you speak as an equal, like a friend, not like a boss. That's when you and your insights are valued. And that's how I kill this seagull manager in myself. Do we have time? Okay, we still have time. Cool. So next one is decide alone. Another question to you. to what extent does your title, whether you're a leader or manager or head or even CEO, CTO, whatever, affect how you make decisions? So we are switching all the automation tests from Java Selenium framework to JavaScript. And I had a good amount of experience with Java myself, okay? And I felt comfortable using it. However, with JavaScript, I can't keep up because managerial tasks take up too much of my time. I was invited to a meeting where I had to make a decision about this JavaScript automation architecture for the entire team. I feel like I am out of my depth, but I made a decision on the spot that my team didn't enjoy, it didn't like afterwards. So why not consult with your team before making a final decision? Or but I'm a leader. It's embarrassing to seek for an advice. It means admitting the fact that you are not competent at something, and that you need help. Isn't it a sign of weakness? No. Or perhaps it means acknowledging the fact that there are smarter people in your team than you in some areas, which is a tragedy for a leader, I thought. So, as Job said once, it doesn't make sense to hire smart people and tell them what to do. We hire smart people so they can tell us what to do. What a phrase. Now I communicate with people in various positions, not just QAs, and not from my team only. I share my thoughts, I listen to theirs, and ask for advice. This helps me see a much broader perspective than if I were making all the decisions myself. And I also receive this honest and critical feedback, which often helps me to adjust the final approach. Okay. I also like this verse from Proverbs, from Bible, with well advised is wisdom. We're almost at finish. 2 more to go. Okay, I'm a bit rushing. I see the time. So 9. Your team is always with you, or will stay always with you. So I've been working on a leadership position for a while now. I've set everything up. Everyone's on their places, and the team is cool. And everything is moving even without my energy, my efforts, which is great. And I come to work one day, and the most experienced QA in my team, the one who I could count on, his name was Vlad, my right hand, if you will. He says, "Dima, I'm going to be a developer," and I'm in shock. Since when did Vlad become interested in development? This is my failure as a manager. I didn't know where Vlad wanted to grow. So we have the last poll here, I promise. So I'm curious. Let me show it. Yeah, it's already here. Okay. I'm curious about your opinion. Yeah. What do you think? Who is responsible for your professional growth? And we have results. You are responsible. It's majority of you. Your manager is 9%. Both of you. You and your manager. Okay, this is the leader now. Or maybe someone else. Maybe your mom. Say hello, mama. You are responsible for my professional growth. Didn't you know that? Okay, boss, right? Boss wins. 53, 54. Okay, since we don't have much time, I'm closing it. Yeah, but you got the idea. 1 sec. Closing. Yeah, so my choice is 50-50. The first 50 is on you as a subordinate. If you don't want to develop, no one will ever help you. If you do want to develop, tell your lead what you're interested in and what you're willing to do to achieve your goal. And next 50 is on my shoulders as a manager. I see your strengths and weaknesses, potentials, and I give the regular feedbacks and look for opportunities inside companies, if there are any. It's like win-win. You get what you want, and the company profits, and together it's 100%. So Going back to this traitorous plot, I'm just kidding. He's a successful front-end developers now. And I'm so happy because I was a part of his journey, of his successful growth. He grew inside the company. And now I'm not worried at all about someone's leaving the team because of successful growth. Instead, I'm building a platform that helps everyone on my team develop. Even if a team leader, even if team member only stays with me for a year, it's still a successful story. Moreover, if your team members are not growing under your umbrella as a leader, it's a bad sign to the management and to the company about your work as a leader. Consider it. So the last one, business first, I call it that way. So I once attended a meeting with Max, QA from my team, and to ask questions about his project. And Max responded very dryly and shortly without any emotions. I didn't understand why. After the conversation, I felt unenthusiastic and noted that something is wrong or was wrong with Max's project. As a manager, my work is done, right? I went to get coffee and ran into Mykola in the office, who is really close to Max. They are friends. And Mykola asked me, how is Max's mom? Was she able to escape the war spot in Mariupol city? And for the reference, for some of you don't know, it's a full-scale war in Ukraine now, and Mariupol city is close to Russia. And it was completely smashed and occupied by a Russian army. And I was like, his mom in the war spot? What? I was remember our last meeting. Did I ask him why he was so upset? No. Did I ask anything personal? No. I just talked to him about the work, and this is the fail, as I see it. In my experience, it's very difficult to separate personal life from work one. They affect one another in some ways. Therefore, a manager must be empathetic and sensitive to their team members because, try to guess, people are the greatest asset to any company. That's why I try to build friendly relationship with every member on my team, and I can say with dignity that thanks to this people first and empathy approach at the company level, the majority of my team members made it through the difficult times of working from home with COVID and are currently going through the war together without leaving the company because people feel valued. So right, yeah, empathy is the really best tool for retention. I'm closing in. I'll repeat what I said in the beginning. Failure will remain a failure only if you do nothing about it. Okay, only those who doesn't try anything new doesn't fail. Try. Don't be afraid. Look for people and workplace with such a mindset. Well, now you definitely know much bigger about me, right? And I'm afraid to ask if you would ever work with such a manager in the same team. As an advertisement, Wix is hiring in different locations. So if you're interested, welcome. Check our job page. And last, what I would say, and I'm closing. Really, I'm rushing. It's hard for me to do so, but I'll use this opportunity and the power of community in order to ask for your support. Russia started the colonizational war against Ukraine back in February 2022. They already killed thousands of Ukrainians. They threw millions out of their homes, and my family and myself included. We are refugees now, believe it or not. But Ukraine will never, ever be Russia. Okay, we are fighting as United Nations like never before on all the fronts, and we are gonna win. But we do seek for support. We cannot do it alone. By the way, today is Independence Day of Ukraine. We are 32 years old, still young but so strong. And if you want to support Ukraine, it's easy to do. Just visit this site, u24.gov.ua. This is our president project. It's protected by him. And you see Zelensky is the president of Ukraine. and you will find the latest news about war and the truth about the war there. You can as well as click the donate button and choose any like goal for your charity and any amount, like whether it's going to be defense or medical or rebuilding, etc. Every dollar counts and actually saves lives. So thank you so much in advance from all the Ukrainians.
Great.
Last sentence. I hope you heard something useful from my stories, or maybe recognized yourself, or at least laughed. I would be very grateful for your feedbacks and answer your questions if we still have time. Sorry if I
Awesome. No,
overtime.
I think that's a fantastic session. And happy Independence Day, Ukraine. Great learning.
Thank you.
I just made some notes here, Dmytro. One thing, pick one role, do it well, and the seagull management. I will remember that. And then, of course, I agree with you that it's very difficult to separate, your professional life and your work life, and couldn't agree more. But as you
Thank
know,
you.
we definitely wanted to hear you more, but we have to respect the time as well. So as I conclude this insightful session, I would like to thank Dmytro Lukianchuk for being a part of this event and sharing his all the failures, and indeed that turned out to be an amazing opportunity for us to learn and opens a path for growth and resilience. Now, session
Thank you.
recordings, folks, will be available on YouTube channel too. So providing an opportunity to further learn and keep sharing about TestMu and the sessions. Till then, happy testing. Good day to all of you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dmytro.
Bye
Thank you for
bye.
joining us. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.